Hey guys, welcome to the FPSGeneral live stream. You're here on day 4 of the ShootMania Curse Invitational, the conclusion of everything. We're giving away $5,000 and Steel Series Sensei Raw Gaming Mice to some of you people at home for predicting the winner of our next matchup, which is the lower bracket round 5 matchup between Complexity and MME. Now, to be in with a chance of winning, before the game, if you're watching live, all you got to do is tweet your predicted outcome for this match using the format as on the screen there. My Steel Series Sensei Raw is on Team A, winning your predicted score against Team B, making sure to include FPSGeneral and Curse Network as well, and then you'll be in with a chance of winning one of these awesome gaming mice. But before we go ahead and jump into the game, why don't I quickly show you how we're looking here on the brackets. We're all the way, like I said, in toward lower bracket round 5. You can see there, Monomaniac eSports going up against Complexity here in round 5. The winner of that will then go on to face the loser of Curse and SK, which is the match we'll be seeing up afterwards. But we've got a long evening to come, in total 4 games, and 4 very exciting games. We've got top teams across the North American scene. Curse and SK absolutely huge, and we saw very special things coming out from these two teams in the lower bracket, which is going to be the first matchup first. But before we go into that and introduce my co-commentators, why don't we just quickly play the trailer for Beta 2 from the guys behind ShootMania at Nadeo. That's Beta 2, guys. You can go ahead and download that right now and play it. The full game launching on January the 23rd. But we've got an awesome game coming up first here in day 4, the conclusion of the ShootMania Curse Invitational. I'm MVC, joined by Zacubus. And at the bottom is Johnny. Zacubus, you've been watching 3 days now of ShootMania. We've got this obviously awesome match coming up first. How excited are you for the conclusion of this tournament?
Very excited.
Oh, come on.
Does it show?
It does not. Where's the Lucas aid? You've run out, haven't you?
I am running a little bit lower. I'll get a top up. I just, you know, the time schedule has had its toll on me, that's for sure. But the games have been awesome and been really fun to watch and cast with you, MVC. It's been an honour, and I think we're going to have a killer game right now versus MME and Complexity.
Yeah, definitely. And why don't we just go ahead and jump straight into it, shall we? Don't want to keep these guys waiting too long. They're all ready and waiting to go. One of these teams is going out of the tournament. One of them will advance through to the lower bracket finals to play against either SK Gaming or Curse after their winner bracket matchup. And I have no idea who to put my money on. Anyone you're particularly favouring? First map, of course, Solar Flare.
This is going to be a coin flip. I feel it is anyway, because you know how the defense works on this. It's pretty solid. But you know, if I'm going by individual players, I'm going to say the Complexity guys are looking to be the stronger team in terms of attacking rounds. I think they've been more consistent. They definitely have a more aggressive defensive style when they want to push up onto something. They play it defensively, of course, but when there's an opportunity to push, they do really capitalize on it quite well, as we saw Carnage and the Bears doing that yesterday. Let's see how Carnage does on his first attacking round.
Yeah, he's going to be the first player for Complexity. And of course, ShootMania is first to 9 on each map in this best of 3. And each side you will rotate from attack to defend, and on the attacking side you'll play with that single player. So you can see Carnage here with his laser, an instant shot weapon, will eliminate each of those defenders in one shot, kill, so to speak. And right now pushing up this right hand side of the map on the grass. For those interested, they're not playing beta 2, they're playing beta 1.5, you could say. We're missing wall jumps. That's definitely one thing that these players might miss if they have been playing since that was rolled out just a few days ago. But Carnage made it all the way up to this point. Going to lose one life straight away coming out from Poptrunk. Carnage will respond with one of his own on toward Felons. Now we got a 1-on-2 situation. And look at this. Hot Mustard's caught in a sticky situation. He has to make the jump over. Carnage going to make the mistake and miss that shot, which does give Hot Mustard an opportunity to get on toward the point. You can see Carnage connecting with that rocket. Going to deny the shot. Will swiftly pick up during the instant reload. And he'll manage to cap the point as well. Hot Mustard not able to slow him down enough, and that's going to be first one on the board here for Complexity. And what a round to take it in on the first attacking round, Zacubus.
Indeed, and it doesn't look like the MME guys are completely warmed up as of yet, but Carnage doing some excellent work to get that first round, and this map is a nightmare to get attacking rounds on, and that was some nice moves as well from Carnage, with the weird little wall jump thing going on where he clipped and sort of span off. It was nice to see though, and capitalised on it quite well. And Hot Mustard seeing one on top of the bridge at spawn, an unusual position. Carnage from behind. The Horde is coming in now. Griffin pushing in. DeBear's just spanning from the top. Carnage really wants Hot Mustard's dead. Knocks him down to one life. And Griffin will finish it off with some nice aggression there and just not letting him escape. DeBear should have moved in though, I feel. I think he should have just dived in headless chicken style. But apart from that, nice defense.
Yeah, good initiative from Griffin though to support Carnage. Having just two people there may have obviously was enough for those guys, and I guess DeBear just didn't feel like he needed to drop down and wanted to keep position in the freak incident where we could have saw that attacking player just take out the two defenders. But we're on to DeBear's now perspective, and he's currently leading 2-0 here for Complexity. Going to be feeling comfortable, and of course the attacking rounds are the harder ones to get, and just sometimes one attacking round is enough. But of course, two attacking rounds would make their life a whole lot easier, as he will focus his attention now toward Poptrunk and shut him down. We got Felons and Hot Mustard remaining. Felons will go down, and yet again Hot Mustard has to make the jump over to the point, but he's already down on this level, so he has done a lot of the work for him. But two lines for DeBears. He has to hit accurate rockets, and he will as well. Two going to connect, the first two in fact, and that's going to make it 2-1. MME showing that maybe they're just not pushovers after all.
I honestly thought the Bears had that in the bag there. He was just sat on the point so comfortably after those first 2 kills and 2 lives left. He looked very, very strong, but just a tiny miscalculation. And obviously MME back in the game now, getting their first defensive round. And if they can just get if they can get an attacking round even, that would be very, very good for them right now. And Poptrunk is trying to find a way in, but the spam is relentless coming in from Complexity. More spam, blocking Poptrunk going from towards the point. And now DeBears drops down from top. He needs to defend this point. Everything is rotating round. Poptrunk just stuck in the middle, trying to find that pick. And I think he's going to get zoned in here right now. Carnage coming in from behind, aggressive as always. Always coming from behind. Carnage does like to do that a lot. He is sneaky, sneaky.
Yeah, good play from Griffin as well. Rather than just diving over to the point, decided to take that upper echelon of the map, which did mean that the focus was drawn in 2 places on the attacking player's mind. And it's always good to have players trying to sandwich in that defender, not only to put the pressure on when it comes to getting in close, but just even sitting back and spamming. It just means the attacker's always moving his mouse around and, you know, never really giving himself an open shot. But we've watched Griffin now here for Complexity moving up to around the back of the map, trying to pick off this player. And that's a popular spot we've seen so far this tournament, is the player getting on top of the little walkway above spawn. And it seems to work out as well. We've not really seen the attacker being able to pick off that player, but if Griffin can find Felons here, he'd be able to turn around and focus his attention. But that is a big, big miss, and now things are going to be getting tense for him, as we've got 3 seconds now until that point opens up. He's going to make the drop down, but he is in no situation to dive on it. 12 rockets on those defenders. He's got to need a short of a miracle, or like we always say, to be Nodmac, and that's going to be 3-2 here for Complexity.
Definitely no Nodmac there. And the Horde just swarms in on Griffin there, as you'd expect. And to be fair, they should have got some spam rockets in earlier on, but it doesn't matter. When you've got 3 people still alive, then it's usually a win-win situation as soon as the point is open, providing you don't have somebody do a Nodmac on you, of course.
I think people would be more interested in getting an interview with Nodmac after our comments about in this tournament than actually the winners here in the ShootMania Invitational. At least I know I would perhaps be more excited to talk to him because he's now our hero in our eyes. But anyway, and our hearts, of course. But watching Felons as he will find Carnage moving up that middle walkway, and now just 2 players to find one. Flicks on toward Griffin as well. Brilliant shot. This is a good push on De Beers, though, going to push him down. And actually, this could be brilliant for Complexity. Now Felons has to make the jump over toward that point. That's a couple of easy potential air rockets for the Complexity player, especially because time's running out. Felons only has one option, and that's to go over that walkway, and he's going to be shut down swiftly. That's going to make it 4-2.
De Beers making the best out of a bad situation there, and really that push was superb. He knew the timings of that rail was coming back up any second. Luckily hit him off the map, and then was able to just finish him off with some spam rocks at the back of the map. Very, very nicely played. And now Carnage going on to this right-hand side of the map, and obviously everybody seems to be favouring this side a lot rather than going up top left. There's a lot more spam to deal up with there. But everybody finding this more comfortable, and Carnage now jumping across to the point area, narrowly missing Pop Chunk by 2 centimeters. And he's still dancing around with Pop Chunk, but Pop Chunk's going to back off. He wants to stay alive as long as possible, and that is the right course of action with a man with 3 lives left. And Carnage is an aggressive man with that laser, and he will find any opportunity to open up this point, but does not look like it. Oh, he does, but taking 2 lives. Now 1. Wow, good flicks coming out from Carnage, and now Pop Chunk is scared. He's really scared, but he's just going to let Carnage get on the point. So bad moves from Pop Chunk. He gave far too much respect there to Carnage to let him just sit on the point. He had so much time there as well, I feel, with that open jump as well. Pop Chunk letting it go.
Yeah, I mean, that's the disadvantage of just sitting one player on that upper left-hand side and one behind the point. Sooner or later, you have to make the dive back to the point position, and that gave Carnage an opportunity to find the shots. He did miss the crossing player, but in that situation, Carnage just recuperated himself and was able to then find the frags. Watching Hot Mustard here for MME as he's on his attacking side, just quickly bringing up scoreboard. You can see Carnage having 2 attacking rounds, and that could be instrumental as we approach that 9-round limit here on Solar Flare. Making his way through the cage, and we can see here, you mentioned earlier, the left side promotes a lot of spam for the defensive side, but Hot Mustard coping with it very well as he will eliminate De Beers. One more play here. Can he find Griffin? He's going to miss the reload, and miss the rail. The reload time comes into play. Griffin's going to work that to his advantage, and he'll find those final 2 rockets. Brilliant round there from Griffin. 6-2.
Hot Mustard got the good first opening shot there, but unluckily to capitalise on the second, it was pixels away every time that laser recharged, and every time Griffin would just gain the ground and get the easy rocket into the face. Now De Beers on the attack and pushing up the mid area. It seems pretty open at the moment, but I'm sure spam will be flying in. Pop Chunk narrowly almost getting blasted away there, but rocket saved. De Beers looking now for another angle, trying to confusion, but they know where he is. Furlon spotted him, jumping off the map, and De Beers now moving up to the top. Takes down Furlong's, very nice from De Beers, and this really is going to open up the point. There's going to be some headshots, I feel, coming down from above. De Beers now jumping towards the point. Oh, floating like a butterfly, though. He decides to hold his stamina bar in the air, and that is going to cost him dearly there. And he could have avoided a lot of easy rockets there if he just let him drop and then slide out, but a little bit of a silly move there from De Beers after a good opening.
I don't know, he did everything a butterfly could do, and fortunately it wasn't enough. But watching Pop Chunk now on attack here for Monomaniac eSports, going to this time, rather than not take that left hand side, will take the tunnels. This will bring him out behind the spawn. Is anyone there waiting for him? You can see Carnage now rotating. De Beers as well. This is good play from the Complexity players, reading the Monomaniac eSports player like a book, and Pop Chunk will connect with the rocket rather than the player. Unlucky for him, but good play from Complexity there on the rotate. 7-3.
Indeed, quick and merciless defense there. The rotate was swift and efficient, and now Complexity are leading this heavily defensive heavy map by 2 attacking rounds. And to be honest, I'm going to call it GG right about now, because I think this is going to be over fairly shortly.
Well, you say that, Hot
defensive
Mustard.
rounds.
Sorry. I would say, you say that Hot Mustard is going to try and put a stop to your thinking there, as he will shut him down. But you are right, this map is just so heavily defensive biased that, you know, the reality of bringing, you know, not one but two defensive rounds back to tie things up whilst not losing any defensive ones themselves after already dropping two to Carnage is looking almost impossible to say the least. But Ron Felon's perspective now moving on this right hand side along the grass, and yeah, he has to take this round. There's, you know, no question about it. And that big miss on a Carnage. Are you going to see the player Griffin now drop down? You can see De Beers as well. And this is the thing, I don't think Felons is going to be aware. Now, spectators in this game occasionally see name tags where the player in perspective on attack doesn't. So whether his teammates saw that call and informed Felons to move back, I think that's a very real possibility. Now Felons moving up toward the point. It is going to be opening up 15 seconds, 1.5 to cap it up. Felons has to take this, and shooting those rockets isn't going to help, and this is surely only a matter of time now. He has to just dive, hope for their best. Doesn't actually get hit by rockets, but Carnage there ready and waiting. Griffin will finish him off 8-4, and Carnage now potentially in a position to shut things off before even getting to the defensive side, making it 9-4. We'll see.
Indeed, and Carnage taking both the attacking rounds so far and 10 rockets, so looking incredibly strong. He is very, very warmed up for this game right now, and it's looking very, very good for Complexity right now. Carnage favouring on this right-hand side for attack, and he's going to make the classic sniper hill jump to the point, as he does. And will he get rewarded for picking up Pop Trunk? No, Pop Trunk makes him pay for that mistake and does so, and Carnage now fleeing from the scene as fast as he possibly can with one armor point left, but trying to find an angle, hopefully trying for some confusion to just play it safe, and finds Pop Trunk but misses yet again and dives into Pop Trunk, and Pop Trunk is going to finish this off with a nice little mini air rocket there.
Yeah, there's not too much Carnage could really do in that situation with just a single life. It was likely the Monomaniac players were just hoping to hide, stay away, and then when that point opens up, you've got 12 rockets between all three of your defensive players to just spam out at the point. It's almost impossible to avoid. And that was a guaranteed victory, especially here on Solar Flare when you are battling uphill or to jump across. Watching Hot Mustard now and again has to take this round. This is do or die here in map number 1, Solar Flare. If he doesn't take this, they will be going down to a one-map disadvantage here in the best of 3. And remember, the loser of this best of 3 match goes out of the Curse Invitational tournament. Whether Hot Mustard can manage to string together something brilliant, we'll have to see as it unfolds. But in 7 seconds, that point is opening up, and Complexity already doing everything they need to do. You can see the drop down. That's going to assist him as he will pick up Griffin. Has to find 2 more frags though, 1 more frag minimum, but he's just going to make a dive to the point. It's not going to be successful for him, and that's going to close off map number 1 here in favour of Complexity. 9-5. De Beers, Griffin, and Carnage coming out very strong, and Carnage in particular. Look at that, 13 defensive rockets, 2 attacking rounds. Man is on fire, Zacchaeus.
Indeed, he is looking in good shape right now. And let's see if Carnage could take this into the next map, which will be MME's map choice. Now, what did they pick last time? I'm trying to remember. I think it was Paladin. Oh, it is. Yes! Got it right. So Paladin coming up straight away. And this shall be an interesting game. I wonder how Complexity's defensive strats will work against this MME team. Their attacking rounds so far have yet to leave any form of scars or wounds on Complexity on that previous map. Far too much respect, I think, given as well to Complexity in some moments there on those attacking rounds from Carnage. Not enough pushing and too much fear in play.
Yeah, indeed, and I think, you know, this map in particular, really, Monomaniac eSports have to switch things up on attack. It does seem like when MME commit to a position of where they want to attack from, they just go all out in it. They don't give them any opportunity to back away and switch things up, and that's something we definitely saw, especially from De Beers and Carnage. If it wasn't working, they switched things up. And on this map, I just have a feeling if MME commit entirely to a push, you're going to see Carnage come in from behind Griffin to support, and you're going to see all 2 or 3 players from Complexity just surround the attacking MME player. And we'll see, maybe. Hotmus is going to prove me wrong here on attack. As we kick things off here in map number 2. Remember, we are seeing that map advantage now in favour of Complexity. Hot Mustard has to start things off here from MME. Come out strong, show Complexity that they still have what it takes to tie things up here 1-1. And we're going to have a quick look at the setup. We can see Carnage by the cage, the Bears by that metal fence, and Griffin at the back of the map just waiting for the call to rotate to the left or right hand side, depending on what Hot Mustard is doing. And Hot Mustard going to straight away go to try and bait out Carnage at this fence. Will he just move up the ramp and hope that Carnage won't challenge him? Yes, he will, but Griffin there ready and waiting, and just waiting for a perfect opportunity. That rocket could be it, but Hot Mustard will be able to find one on toward Griffin, but not before the Bears comes out of nowhere, hiding originally by that metal fence to shut him down. 1-0 on the board here for Complexity.
Indeed, good rotates there from Complexity. Everything went according to plan. They did lose a man, but there was another guy to back him up and finish off the map very, very easily. And now we're looking at Carnage for his attacking round. And it's just going to play it slow at the mid area so far. Moving his way up to the ramp, see if he can pick Hot Mustard. He doesn't, avoids him. Now heading for the rail pad. Can he find a pick here? He's looking ever so slightly for his opponent, but cannot find him. Furlongs gives an opening, but luckily gets behind cover just in time, and now Carnage is giving away his position. Rockets are flying in from every angle. Hot Mustard, so unlucky. Well, more lucky actually, getting saved by his rocket. And Carnage now looking towards the point, but two excellent rockets coming from Furlongs. Very nice. 1-2. Bam.
Yeah, that's a good play from Furlongs. Really just predicted Carnage was coming to face him at those rail platforms. That's a good call as well from the player at fence. And in that situation, Furlongs just thought, well, maybe if I just rotate back around to the point and make sure we've got three ready and waiting for when that point opens up, as Poptrum goes huge on those rockets. Finally can at least hit those things, but let's try and switch that on to players, shall we? And see whether Poptrum can turn things around. But yeah, Furlongs had a brilliant defensive round. And see what's going on. We've got again Carnage by the fence, De Beers in the middle, Griffin on that left hand side. It looks like Griffin may be the first player for Poptrunk to challenge. No, instead going to back away and bait out the player by fence, knowing Carnage is maybe going to try and rotate in behind. Timed that well as well, just waited so that Carnage had time to move out, and he's going to be shut down. That's a brilliant flick onto Wall Griffin as well. One-on-one situation here. 2 life points for Poptrunk. Remember, De Beers has 4 rockets that will regenerate, but Poptrunk either has to make him waste them or find this kill and dive on the point. We'll see what happens. Is De Beers is going to fire off 1 rocket at a time, conserving that ammunition very well, but he is not connecting with what he wants to. Will manage to find one. Time's going to run out. He has done enough. Wait, did it count?
It counted. He got that hit. He got the attacking round on 0-0.
Wow.
Such nice stuff there. That he's got to be happy. Poptrunk is now massive grin on the face. He is just given his team the lead on this map so far. But can they hold the defense against the Bears, who is going to be slightly angry? He felt he did enough there on that point. He played it incredibly well with 2 lives remaining, and it suddenly snatched away at him and the 0-0. And so he'll be looking for revenge right now.
We'll have to see if we'll find it as De Beers moves on this right-hand side up to the ramp to try and challenge Felons. I'm sure it is, who was playing rail platform. But again, Felons trying to back away. That is a massive miss from De Beers. He's going to be face palming at that one, but will shoot some rockets to make himself feel better. Can he eliminate a couple of these players, as that point is now opening up? 3 to go up against, 12 rockets between them. 2 lines for De Beers. Diving on it is risky at best, especially with now 1 life. This is looking very dim now for the Complexity player, as yeah, Felons will again shut down the attacking Complexity. Man, with 2 nice rockets, 3-1.
Hot Mustard getting the rock blocks out again. He is surviving just through just shooting rockets and just being very, very lucky that the laser hits them every time. So, yes, very, very standard sort of protection, but very, very lucky at the same time. Not losing that defender there, but let's see how Fairlons fares up on this attacking round now. And he's pushing into the left-hand side of the site. There is one there, I believe, and De Beers, no, pulls away and misses an easy shot there, I think, Furlongs, but hits the hard one across the rail. Very, very nice stuff. And now he's just looking for that guy at the point, but they have rotated. They are trying to keep him on his toes, and Furlongs knows that he's coming up behind him. He knows that this is probably going to be carnage. Oh no, Griffin coming up behind him. A nice capture there from Furlongs. Just walks onto the point. My mistake, sorry, I misread the names. But,
yeah, that's going to be
nicely
2
done for
attacking
Furlongs.
Yeah, wow, this is well. It doesn't even feel like a strong performance in many ways from Monomaniac eSports. They've almost got 2 rounds now that I didn't feel like they should have had. It's almost as if Complexity are the players making the wrong decisions at this point, or maybe not wrong decisions, but almost getting unlucky. And that's going to be 4-1 as Griffin tries to challenge for a trade at the cage, and that's usually what it is—a trade 1-for-1. And right now, he's not going to be feeling happy at all. That's 2 rockets from Hot Mustard, down to just a single life point now. Griffin. And whether he can turn things around, we'll see as he turns his attention toward, I'm sure, Popchunk, as he makes his way around the left-hand side of the map. I'm going to switch on to Popchunk, actually, as he will find that final rocket and shoot him down. 5-1 now here on Paladin.
Indeed, and it looks like the flip reverse on this map, and it looks like the MME are now large and in charge, and they're going to hopefully maybe take this map back for themselves and get to the third. That would be very, very good for them right now. And Carnage is set up in a whole new, different location. He is going angry push coming up soon. If Hot Mustard pushes this cage, this could be deadly. And I think he is. Carnage is on the teasing. He wants to move out. And yet Hot Mustard has not reached that critical point to jump out of that spawn area. Hot Mustard now in a bad position. Carnage is going to move out. There is rockets coming in all directions. Hot Mustard manages to pick off one, but he is closed down by Griffin. And Carnage not hitting anything there, but Griffin looking in top position with those rockets.
That just reminds me of watching Complexity play this map, I believe it was on Wednesday, where, no, it was yesterday actually, where he comes charging out of spawn, misses everything, and then the attacking player just kills the bears. But at this time Carnage gets what he deserves after missing those 4 rockets. Nonetheless, he still managed to hold on. That's going to be 5-2. And whether Carnage now on attack can recuperate, or at least make himself feel a little bit better after those huge misses, we'll see as he tries to bait out Hot Mustard at this cage. But Hot Mustard holding position, not wanting to give the opening that Carnage wants. And that's the case with the defender. Sometimes you'll see them challenge the attacking player, or sometimes they'll just back away and make sure they stay alive. And you can see at the moment it looks like he wants to just back away, keep himself hidden, as Carnage will make his path up the walkway. And actually this could be a good point. If he can find this frag on the pole, he should be able to capture it up. No, but Hot Mustard just caught up. 6-2.
Did you see that miss as well from Carnage onto the guy at the back of the map? 0 millimeters.
Nope. It's
Must have been like
0.1. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be something incredibly close. How frustrating is that? That's pretty frustrating.
I'd be pretty mad. And I'd climb some trees to make myself feel better, but you can't do that anymore, so whatever.
It's like you're going to stop playing the game now that you can't climb trees.
It's pretty devastating. I even tweeted about it. But watching Poptrunk now here on attack from Monomaniac eSports, they are 6-2 up with 2 attacking rounds. 1 for Poptrunk, 1 for Felons. Can Poptrunk find his second attacking round? Turning his focus on this left-hand side. He'll probably be aware that Carnage is at the back of the map again on that platform. As Carnage moved back toward the point, it is opening up. No, Carnage is going to wait. The dive comes in. But thankfully, Poptrunk able to shut him down. And, I believe it was De Bears there. But that's going to make it 6-3.
Everybody trying the nod max, everybody failing apart from nod mac. Why try it? Just shoot people. Get some positioning and try and get some shots out. Instead of just diving in a straight line. It's never going to work. Just don't do it.
I mean, at the same time, they've already got 2 attacking rounds. I guess it won't hurt to, do something a little bit different. But, saying a little bit different is perhaps not the right thing here for Monomaniac eSports, because that's pretty much all we see from those guys. And most of their rounds have been just on the point whilst they've been defensive players alive. Really is just Complexity gifting it to them in many ways at the moment. But watching De Bears now on this left-hand side. Poptrunk's going to be the first player he'll encounter, but swiftly dropping down out of view. And De Bears instead going to get rock blocked by, I believe, Felons, as he's still not able to find this frag. Got to be very careful he doesn't get sandwiched in by Poptrunk and will, in fact, eliminate him. We've got a 1-on-2 situation, just a single life now here for De Bears, as we've got those 2 players by their point, just 5 seconds remaining. He's going to have to dive the point, but it's not going to happen. 16% as he is eliminated. 7-3. 2 points away now from taking second map here. Monomaniac eSports and Felons has the opportunity to send them to that map point here on an attacking round, Zacubus.
Indeed, and Complexity look a little bit dire on this map, and I'm just wondering, can they bring it back? Am I going to call a GG already for Complexity now? Do the reverse as on the other map, and Furlon's now on the attack, looking at Carnage in the fence, but decides, nah, I'm going to go hit the jump pad, back off a little bit.
Yeah, just
Furlon's now deciding to push onto the cage, gets Carnage down, opens up a little bit more space for himself. Can he just pick off one more, put himself in a great position? Griffin shows himself, but dives into the point, and long rocket coming from the Bears and finishing off the round. Very nice stuff.
Yeah, decided to have a quick look at Griffin, and meanwhile De Beers was just sniping rockets like they were magnets toward that offensive player. But on Griffin now, they've been given a lifeline, as you would expect on that defensive side, and whether Griffin can now mount that first attacking round, we'll have to see, as he makes a very quick dash toward the left side of the map. Knows he needs a lot of time to work with if he's going to pick off these players, and by getting up here with 25 seconds remaining, he certainly has adequate amount of time to work with. 18 seconds until the point opens up. Still nothing found for him just yet, as it will be Potron to find the first two, and Felons holding his ground on that rail platform, going to shut him down 8-4. 1 round, 1 point away here, Zankibus. Closing it off.
Indeed, and I believe Hot Mustard looking hopefully to close it off for his team right now. And a good way to go with 3 attacking rounds to none, holding a solid defense. All the MME guys so far looking very, very strong on this map indeed, hence they chose it. But let's see if the Complexity lads can actually save the day and maybe get some luck on their side. Hot Mustard now looking to push on this left-hand side, going through the archway. He knows there's one there, misses Griffin. Griffin is now going to try and push out, but doesn't, decides, you know what, I'm staying in. I don't want to get shot. I want to live. And he dies, unfortunately. Hot Mustard taking down Griffin now and looking towards the point. De Beers rushes out now. Aggressive push coming through. Carnage is nowhere to be seen. If De Beers goes down now, this could be quite deadly. And Carnage now out of position, but luckily on the reload shoots that nice rocket straight into Hot Mustard's face. Good stuff there from Carnage, but it was a little bit out of position to back out his teammate there, I feel.
Yeah, but De Beers able to hit those first 2 shots, making Carnage life a whole lot easier. And that was a good prediction shot, finishing him off. That's going to be 8-5, and this is it. Now, they have 2 attacking rounds on the defensive round to tie things up. Carnage has to begin things here on his one. Let's see what's going to be happening. We can see Pochunk at the back of the map. Felons doesn't actually look some real platform. He's actually setting up a bit of a trap with Hot Mustard. He has to be very careful, Carnage. They want to end this Monomaniac eSports, and they will do so. There's a Hot Mustard and Felons, that tag team duo, will manage to shut him down. That's going to be final score here on map 2, 9-5. And after map 1 performance, Solar Flare was not expecting that whatsoever.
Indeed, nice stuff from MME. Perfect map really. That's the best you could get it. You don't need to get all the attacking rounds, just need to get that solid defense, and they had that consistently that whole map. Nothing looked easy at all for the Complexity lads there on that map, and obviously MME gonna take it home for themselves and see what map is picked now, and it's gonna be Swift. Complexity picking Swift. So these new ESWC maps, well, I say new, they've been out for a while now, but nice to see them being used, and let's see how Complexity will take this 3rd map.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of issues with this map in the new beta too, because the wall jump allows you to take that rail bounce pad and just go straight on top of the map. But as we're playing 1.5, it's definitely still viable here in competitive play, and it's one of my favourites, if not my most favourite in some ways. I'm looking very much forward to seeing how the Complexity guys are going to try and sandwich in the Monomaniac attacking player. And it feels like the MME players are going to be forced to use the outer edges of the map, because going anywhere near that middle area by the spawn, below the rail pad, by the capture point, could be deadly. So Monomaniac eSports got to find an opening to pick off one of the coal players first, otherwise it's going to be almost too difficult, I feel. But just waiting for these guys to ready up and kick things off, and it looks like they're just trying to decide who's going to be attacking first. So, Johnny, you are required in the server to help these guys decide what's going on.
Shouldn't it be Complexity? But it's the pick, so they should be attacking.
I'm not going to
Isn't
say
that how
anything.
you usually do it?
Yep,
don't
that is usually, but I mean, we saw one team attack, then we saw the other team attack, and now, yeah. we're going to probably see...
Is it even possible to make this thing coin flip again? I guess it is.
Yeah, I think it's going to just go here, so we'll see what happens, and then the team that wins will get to pick. But I mean, yeah, normally it is the team that picked it, but you know, someone obviously attacked first on the default map, Solar Flare, so it depends whether you take that into account. So these guys are just going to restart and hopefully sort it out. We can get going here on map 3. So again, must reiterate, one of these teams is going out so very close to the end of this ShootMania Curse Invitational, and it definitely doesn't want to be either team. And they've both played phenomenal tournaments so far, and it looks
Indeed,
like
they have. And Complexity are going to be defending on this first round. They won the toss. Let's see if their luck will hold.
Yeah, we'll see. First pull on the board here is going to be Hot Mustard. Map number 3 here in the ShootMania Curse Invitational, the third and final map between Complexity and Monomaniac eSports in the lower bracket, round 5. Whoever predicted 2-1 for one of these teams in the Twitter giveaway, you're in with a chance almost of winning yourself a SteelSeries Sensei Roll Gaming Mouse, one of our tournament sponsors, and Hot Mustard opting to go around this left-hand side. We haven't got a Complexity player by that left-hand side fence, which is a little bit different if you're playing European ShootMania, but we of course aren't, and it looks like DeBears is getting a bit of a rotate going on. Where's he coming from? Yeah, coming in from behind. He's back by that fence. Has Hot Mustard realised it? Griffin trying to delay some time. The railgun reload comes into play, and DeBears comes in from behind. Brilliant stuff from him. It was almost lucky that he wasn't cottoned on to a little bit early after Griffin went down, or that could have gone south. But really, just good stuff from the Complexity guys, and now switching things over to Carnage Succubus.
Indeed, and showing some really nice aggression there. Griffin was a little bit unlucky, but let's see how Carnage actually takes on this attacking round. Hot Mustard now is actually by the cage. Carnage is looking to pick him up, getting on that speed pad, but narrowly are missing those rockets, but Pop Chunk round the back, and Furlong's to finish.
Yeah, just like Complexity, a nice sandwich effect coming in from MMA, even perhaps better than we saw Complexity pull off. That's good stuff from the MME guys. And now we've got Pop Chunk up now on attack. We've got Griffin this time moving over to the fence. The Bears actually setting a bit of a ninja position in that middle archway, but going to swiftly move back in toward the back cave. Of course, if you are in the back cave, you do switch out that defensive rocket launcher for a nucleus, which is almost like a timed grenade that sticks to the wall, or has a huge radius, so if it passes by, the attacking player will eliminate one of those life points. So it can be a nice weapon to pick up. The reload time is huge, and you have to be aware you need to get out of there as soon as you fire it. But Pop Chunk focusing attention toward the middle. DeBear's going to rotate out of the tunnel, find that first rocket. Carnage with the second one. Pop Chunk looking in dire straits now, as we have 5 seconds until that point opens up. Big miss onto DeBears. He's going to be annoyed with that one. You can tell it is waiting, and finally now going to make the move in. We'll get the flick on toward Pop Chunk, looking not drop down there that hole, because Griffin is ready and waiting, and he'll still find the shot anyway. That's going to make it 2-1.
Indeed. Pop Chunk a little bit unlucky on that first opening shot, but does actually make up for it, and I think he should have avoided the little drop hole there. He could have avoided it, but he decided he was running out of time and risked it anyway, and got nullified because of it. Now, the Bears on his attack decides that pushing that cage is not a wise option after the first round, after the MME lads were so quick at rotating. Some nice rockets coming in from Pop Chunk, taking some armor off for the Bears, and the Bears now in the open archway area, getting sniped from Furlongs, but Furlong's missing through the trees. Can the Bears reply with a rail back, or has he disappeared? He has, and he's gone round the back of the map now. He is looking for another opening, but MME are quick to rotate, and they know where he is and close him down instantly.
Yeah, occasionally you see the rail player Felons. He may have opted to just stay on the point and hit the long range shot, but didn't want to take that risk of DeBears just diving on the point and hoping for the best. Wanted to be there to assist his two teammates and made sure they had 3 when the time came. Good stuff from those guys yet again, and that's going to make it 2-2. We got Felons up now. Who is going to be the first team to take the attacking round? Is it going to be Monomaniac eSports? So that is a very late dive toward the round platform. You could see Carnage go across there, and meanwhile Felons going to eliminate Griffin. That's a nice free frag. He's going to be happy with that one, and our pressure reversed on toward Complexity. He knows where De Beers is. He can force De Beers away from getting back toward the point, but actually, by holding that position, didn't have eyes on. So maybe, yeah, you can see, you've just seen his head by the pole, so De Beers back on the point. Carnage just still holding his ground by this rail platform. Will Felons just dive toward the point, or will he want to find Carnage? If he dives toward the point, that would be an easy shot for the rail player. He has to be careful in this situation. In fact, I want to switch on toward Carnage as we watch him try to connect on toward the attacking player. In the final moments, he'll find Felons. Instead of dropping down, he is going to wait to find the shot, and both players have done enough. He's going to make it 3-2, and good calm play from the two remaining complexity players there.
Indeed, I think Felons were just wasting too much time there, to be honest, on that attacking round. After he got that first kill, he should have done something more with the positioning he had and the location he had. He could have avoided Carnage if he went around the back a little bit more and maybe get an opening on De Beers, but decided that mid area was going to be his best course of action. Now Griffin looking to pick off Hot Mustard at the cage and just getting bounced for his troubles at the moment and losing 2 lives and 3.
I have to say, there have been some really late bounce pads to that rail platform, or the laser platform. I keep calling it rail because that's what's familiar, but of course in ShootMania it is a laser. But yeah, it's a really late jump toward it. I'm surprised that we've not seen one of the attacking players just wait for it. But watching Hot Mustard now on his attack as he'll wait for that spam, maybe just trying to bait out De Beers, have him think like he's taken tunnel. That won't connect with him at that distance. And again, it's very difficult in ShootMania to hit those long distance shots. Whilst the crosshair may look like a normal crosshair, all of that crosshair has to be on the enemy player, which is why if you're on a rail platform, it's much easier to connect with shots. It's not your typical middle of the screen type of game, but Hot Mustard making his way into the middle can spot Carnage on the platform. I want to quickly switch on to Carnage as Hot Mustard meanwhile will eliminate Griffin. Carnage will manage to connect with one laser, but this is going to be a sure round for Hot Mustard. Brilliant second frag as well, and before capturing the point will catch Carnage as he desperately tries to get back into a position to fire off those rockets. 4-3. Carnage.
Very nice stuff there from Hot Mustard, and he's got to be pretty proud of himself right now, and he's put the pressure back onto Complexity. Now, Carnage is pretty good when pressure is piled on top of him, though, as we saw yesterday, saving Complexity in one map against Spin Move. And let's see where Carnage is right now. Carnage going on top of Archway. Maybe considering about dropping down into the flag point, but no, he's going to go for the railer. Misses Furlongs just by 27 centimeters. He's trying to get out and he's fallen in the tree. He's stuck. And rockets fly in, takes down Furlongs on the rail point, and now in a commanding position if he can get one more pick. And he does! Hot Mustard just walking into it, and now there's only one left on the point. I told you Carnage was good on pressure, and can he now finish this off? 2 lives left, and he does! So nice, Carnage. He knows that when the pressure's on and he needs to put out for his team, he can do it anytime, any place.
Yeah, and responding straight away with an attacking round to negate the one coming out from Monomaniac eSports is going to be great for their confidence. They didn't want to go down to the final moments to tie things up, and getting it there just kind of evens the playing field yet again. They can focus back on the game and not how to save themselves what potentially could have been their exit of the tournament. Watching Pop Trunk now as he decides to warm himself up again, trying to connect with some rockets, and just reload that laser instantly. And again, just to point out, those X's you see on the screen are pings that the players can do, giving position on the enemy player for 2 to 3 seconds, including behind the wall or trees, which is why you see the players just spam pings through the tree on the rail platform defensive guy. But point opening up, 3 seconds. Popchunk not able to find anything just yet, finally connecting with Griffin. Carnage going to make the drop down, but there is a player waiting for him. De Beers one-on-one situation. This is almost clutch play from Popchunk, going to try and flick onto him, won't be able to find it. Carnage trying to hold on now for his team as Popchunk makes the pass toward the point, hits the rocket instead, but it is going to be enough. He'll just capture that point in 3 attacking rounds in a row. Wow.
Carnage, so unlucky. He did the right move, he got the bounce, and the reload time just wasn't there for that rocket. So now De Beers has to answer back with an attacking round, and the pressure is truly back on. But, he pushes Hot Mustard where he wants him in that cage, misses the easy shot, and I think there's a rotation coming in from MME, and De Beers knows he is already on his way out of there.
Yeah, we saw the complexity player get trapped last time by taking his rotate back toward the middle, too close to that wall. This time, DeBez aware of the rotate, takes that outside perspective, keeps hold of these 3 lives, which could be instrumental in these next 10 seconds that point opens up. Can he find a player, though? Yes, he will. Felons goes down still. 3 lives for DeBez. Down goes Pop Trunk as well. One-on-one situation. 2 lives for DeBez. It's not impossible for him to dive on the point. 4 rockets for the defender. 3 wasted. This is his opportunity now to get time on that point. 7 seconds. The frag will come in as well. 4 consecutive attacking rounds now in this matchup. Wow, wow, wow. Felons up now for Monomaniac eSports.
The holes in the defense are just showing everywhere for both teams at the moment. The rotates have been somewhat slow when they've done them, and unfortunately it gave them the Bears a lot of movement there to get back onto that, well, on that rail pad. Gave him so much time he could really work out who he wanted to pick off there, and picking off those 2 guys on the point was so nice. And the Bears looking to push into Furlongs, and they all do. Carnage, Griffin, and Carnage again for the Rockets.
Yeah, that's what happens when you pause and wait for just a moment at that cage play. You risk that rotation coming out from the other 2 defenders, and that's what we saw come into play there. And just brilliant, calm and composed rockets coming out from those players. But we've got Griffin up now on attack. If we quickly bring up the scoreboard, he is the only player not to take an attacking round so far. And can he kick things off? Finding one on toward Griffin. Not before Felon's connected with that railgun, but Griffin's going to say, you know what? You hit me, I'm going to punish you. Just one-on-one situation now. Griffin has everything to gain now for his team. 7-5 would be a brilliant scoreline. Where is this player as we switch on toward Hot Mustard? He is in a very weird situation. I assume rotating from the cage, coming through the back cave now, as we call it. And is Griffin aware? That is the question. You're going to see the player dive out. Griffin certainly is now. Griffin has to hit this shot. 2 lives isn't impossible for that defender, but hiding behind the pole is going to be enough. 7-5.
The attacking rounds are just flowing now out of complexity, and that's what they want. They want that right now at this particular point. And if they defend this round, they will be looking in for match point and going in to the loser bracket final, where they'll be awaiting SK or Cursed.
Yeah, and Hot Mustard now moving over toward this left-hand side cage. Complexity not giving them any openings whatsoever. You can see De Bears just peeking out. Carnage waiting on that rail platform. I'm going to try and switch on to him, as you can see him ping, trying to get an inkling on that attacker for Griffin, who's currently waiting as I switch on to Griffin. He's already eliminated 2 of those live points for Hot Mustard, but Hot Mustard has position on this point. That player has to drop out of that archway, make a jump or come down the hole, and Hot Mustard is going to be feeling pretty comfortable, but there is still a second defender. He's on the rail platform. He's risking everything to hit the shot. Is he going to stay up there? DeBez trying to connect with Hot Mustard. Hot Mustard not able to find the rail shot. 5 seconds till the point is to close, and DeBez will eventually connect with the rocket he needed. 8-5, 3 match points now for Complexity, and whoever voted Complexity to take this one on Twitter might be in with a chance of winning this gaming mouse. We watch Carnage on attack, Zacubus.
Indeed, and if anybody's going to win an attacking round, it is Carnage. He showed great form on the first map on Solar Fair, possibly one of the hardest maps to defend, and he got 2 brilliant attacking rounds now. And this map is full of holes at the moment, and he is just going to walk straight through the middle. There's nobody on rail to test him either, and he's looking quite comfortable. And he's just going to go for the cage guy, jumping on top of it. Hot Mustard looking in bad shape, especially when he gets rock blocked, and then the reload to finish him off. Very nice stuff from Carnage. And now another cage player. This is a bad position for that rocket player down there. Oh, so nice. Baited that shot onto the railer, and then again, Carnage taking it huge onto Pop Trunk and Furlongs there. I love that bait shot onto the rail player. That was so smart, so smart, because he knew he was going to go for the cage player, but he wasn't. Mind raped.
Yeah, really just brilliant stuff from the Complexity guys. As soon as they started to win attacking rounds, they won attacking round after round after round. They really pulled things together. It looked like Monomaniac eSports may have been able to do the same thing, but unfortunately they weren't able to hold themselves together when it came to playing that individual game. And, you know, that's one of the brilliant things about ShootMania, isn't it, Zacubus? The fact that you've got defensive rounds when you play as a team, your 3v3 situation effectively in many ways, and then you've got the solo rounds. It really does benefit so many players in different ways. And on today's game, here in the ShootMania Curse Invitational. It benefited Complexity more so as they'll advance through to the lower bracket grand final. Whoever voted, of course, Complexity to take that 1-2-1, you're now in with a chance of winning a SteelSeries Sensei Raw Gaming mouse. Johnny is going to go ahead and pick someone from the list of Twitters. You can see him there cheering himself on as he'll get that sorted for you guys. And we're going to take a quick break for the time being, and we'll be right back with not only the winner, but SK Gaming going up against Curse in the winner bracket.